Action.
Hello, guys. It's another week, so it shows that we're going to be here to give you the latest updates on the sporting events. But the EPL is back, the most watched league, and I mean, there's been football everywhere. Turn left football, turn right football, look forward, look back, football everywhere, basically. So, welcome. My name is Bamiji Ojo, and these two fine gentlemen you see here, they are the best. They are the best people I could ask for to be on the show with me. Let's do it again, and it's Edafe Elegbete one of sport. How you doing?
I'm fine. I'm having fun.
I can see you eating, and I can see precious salivating.
Me. So you can see hot saliva dripping down my throat, Abi.
It's what it means to be. What it means to have a wife.
Wait, bros, now you are throwing stones.
Anyways,
now.
Precious, go marry.
Also on the show with us is Precious Amosue, the statistician himself. Precious, how you doing?
Hi, I'm fine, thank you. It's been an awesome weekend.
You watch Precious a lot, you will win Baba Ijebu.
Well, just before we get into it, like Martin said, the Man City Arsenal game, the people's game without the people. How have you enjoyed football being back so far?
Well, I was enjoying it before the Premiership came, and then the Premiership spoiled everything. Premiership was ugly. It was ugly in a lot of ways.
What's your beef with Premier League football? Is the most watched league. We can't deny
because
it.
the quality of the league is not good. The quality of the league is not good. The league is aided by too many controversies and too many talking points. I call the Premier League the talking point league. Okay, first two games, outstanding games before COVID-19 came.
Sheffield.
First game, Sheffield Aston Villa. Sheffield scored a fantastic goal. And that goal that was not counted, and you see, look at the very funny excuse. The English FA pays £2 million every year for Hawkeye to work. And they said that the people around the goalpost were covering the ball so the Hawkeye the sensor could not pick it. Who gives that guy? It sounded like the kind of excuse that people give.
It was very appalling. It
sounded like, when I was hearing it, sounded like something that Lai Mohammed would say. You understand? Then get past that. We have been suffering from pandemic. We've been suffering from pandemic and trying to get over it, trying to get our mind distracted. Then this club showed up. They showed up like they've not trained. Like the coronavirus that affected Mikel Arteta, affected his brain. He didn't know how to make selection. They played 2 games. See, Brighton and Hove, whatever they are called, have not won more than... How many games have they won this season? Statistician, you help me out. They've won only 3 games in 2020. Of those 3, 2 are against Arsenal. Arsenal players were playing like they don't know what it means to be professional footballers. This is, forget playing for the club or playing for the badge. Play for your salary, play for your name, your integrity. If you want to lose, lose well. And then we saw the one that Man United and Spurs plays, a football match. Then we saw the Leicester Watford game. Come on. English League is rubbish. Like complete dose of rubbish.
You know what? Bamiji.
Yeah,
I want to take a cue from something Elegbete just said about the kind of crazy excuse that the goal line tech guys made up. There was a game Chelsea played away, I think it was at the Amex or so last season. Chelsea the game was tied at 1-1. Chelsea needed that game to cement their place in the top 4. The equalizing goal for Chelsea was a clear offside goal. Okay, now you wouldn't believe what the excuse for the linesman was that Williams' afro blocked his line of view. That was last season. Williams' afro. Yes, if you can remember that. So Williams' afro won 3 points for Chelsea.
And some people want me to believe that it's the best league in the world.
Well, and after before you attack the EPL so much, I thank you guys for actually bringing us to the first talking point, and that's the poor decision that came from the EPL. Well, guys, like I said, Afe and Precious have already ushered us into the show, but basically what we're going to be doing today is football. We're going to be reviewing the Premier League, just how he enjoyed Bayern's victory, winning the Bundesliga yet again. Then I mean, there's two tough battles going on in the Serie A and La Liga. So let's get into it. And Afe, Bayern again. Can we carry Bayern from Bundesliga and put them in another league?
Any league you put them, they will still win the league now. Apart from the La Liga.
Wow.
Any other league you put them apart from La Liga, they win the league.
Wow.
If you put them in the EPL, they win the league. If you put them in Serie A, they win the league. It's a La Liga where they will struggle. They'll take third. They'll come third or second. Other than that, any other league you put them, they win the league straight up. How you know is there is no team in England that pray in the knockout round that give us Bayern. There is no team in England. Bayern in their own does not pray for anybody. They just like, give us anybody who will play. We'll beat them. But English team will always tell you, give us the weaker side. It doesn't matter whether you're Man City, Liverpool, or the rest. All they want, give us FC Basel, give us Feyenoord, give us KF, give us FC Taraba, or give us Eimba. But Bayern, I mean, they are the Zeus now. They don't beg for opening.
You get to the break bros heart for Premier League. You never talk.
No, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. Just quickly take us through the summary of Bayern, how they won the league perfectly. Being an ardent supporter for them, and I know you celebrated winning the league with them. How was the season basically to you?
For me, it's more of business. 3 years ago, I signed a contract with BOE to produce the. When I say it's actually Elevated TV. We signed the contract to produce the Bayern Youth Cup in Nigeria every year and also host the Bundesliga trophy, which we've done for 2 years consecutively, and we've done it very well. Klaus Ogontela was here, and what's it called? What's his name? Giovanni Elba was here too. We enjoyed it. First, the relationship have been very beautiful. Yes, there was a snag last May that last year May, we were unable to go to Germany because of visa issues, but it was still fun. Now, coming into the season, why I liked it was, at some point, it looked like RB Leipzig were going to shock everybody. Now, as much as I love Bayern and I want them to win because of the contractual agreement that I have, I thought that for football's sake, RB Leipzig should win it. But then, football is not a pity game. It's not sentiment. The league table doesn't lie. It is what you put in on the course of the whole season that reflect. So some people can do a 100-meter dash. So in the league, and at a 100-meter length, they can be on top of everybody. But then league football is not 100-meter dash. League football is a marathon. There's going to be sometimes when you need to be climbing the hill. Sometimes you're coming down. You know, it's like the access marathon. You're going to face some curves that would be very difficult. Some curve balls will be thrown at you. Very easy game. Coming off maybe playing the European game or playing an FA Cup game. Some players have gone out injured, and you need to dig deep. Nobody knows how to do that better than Bayern. Bayern know how to rotate their squad very well. They know how to put everybody in the right places and get them to perform at their best. Teams like RB Leipzig and teams like Dortmund only have a first 11. So there are 11 players who come together to play some of the most beautiful, scintillating, and awesome football that football viewers have seen. But in football, experience is something you cannot take for granted. Bayern are champions. They know what it is to win games with the odd goal line of 1-0. Sometimes it's got 5. So when a Lewandowski, for instance, is not informed, you see Mola shows up, you see Serge Gnabry shows up, you see, a few other players come up. But you got to Borussia Dortmund, for instance. Once Paco Alcácer is not scoring, a fantastic number 9, an incredible player, there's a problem. Or Marco Reus is not doing his job because, recently he's been battling injuries, so he doesn't play consistently. That's a problem. Or what's the name of this other guy? Jadon Sancho. as good as Jadon Sancho, there are times, I mean, he's still 18 or 19 or whatever, he's still a small boy. There are times where he gets too heady, get carried away, one step over too many, one messy run too many. And, football is about timing. If you get the cross in too late, you've lost the chance. If you get it in too early, you miss the chance. So all of those things are things that Bayern have perfected very well. So Bayern can win you at a walking pace. They can win you at a grinding pace. They can win you at a running pace. But teams like Leipzig, RB Leipzig and Dortmund, they need to be on a running pace every time to win matches. So that's the difference between a team like Bayern Munich or Bayern Munich, as they are called, and the rest of the teams. They are a team like what the Sir Alex Ferguson's Manchester United used to be. They don't play every game in a fantastic way, but they know that, okay, these people are going to play us. They are going to play their lives out because winning Bayern is like the holy grail. So some teams can even say, let's lose every match but beat Bayern. But then Bayern knows that this type of team, this is how they play. So let's sit back, wait for them. Their youthful exuberance or their over-enthusiasm will make them make some silly mistakes. That is what we're going to capitalize on, knowing fully whether we're not firing on full throttle or full cylinder this time around. The engine, maybe 4 plugs are not working, but they still need to go the distance.
We can see Efe in his full flow. Go on.
So in that element, that's where Bayern, for instance, cuts its head, shoulders, and ears above every other teams in the Bundesliga. I feel for teams like Dortmund, but then where they lack the titles to show for all of the effort, they also sell players to make money. RB Leipzig cannot complain. You can't, on one hand, be a selling club, and on the other hand, you still want to grapple with the titles. It's like, the hunter who goes to the bush is chasing the rabbits, is chasing tortoise, chasing the elephant, chasing the lion. Someone's going to go home hungry. It's not going to be able to, really get everything home. And that's exactly what's happening with them. Bayern, on the other hand, is good at they finish the job. Now we're hearing Champions League is going to be one-legged. I don't know how they plan to do that anyway. But it's good that they finish the job of the league. This is like one of the most fantastic seasons because they finish the job of the season now. They can use their reserve to play the remaining game and use maybe...
Concentrate on the Champions League.
Yeah, the Champions League. So most of the games that is going to be played remaining to the end of the season for Bayern is not preseason and training games. So they just use it to get fitness. Don't go in too much with the tackles. Yeah, play the home games and keep our pride and respect. So that we'll see plenty of goals. But Champions League, Chelsea will not die well.
And I mean, let me hold you there and let's go to the Chelsea man. Thank you, Lafi, on that. Precious, we discussed about Leroy Sané not extending his Manchester City contract, and with what Edafe said,
Very sad.
Bayern is already strong. Bayern is already strong, and they can win the league at a walking pace. Now imagine the little Leroy Sané joining them. How good will Bayern Munich be?
This is something I like about a top team like Bayern. And it's even more interesting, the fact that they are going to get Leroy Sané for next to nothing, really, when you consider the fact that Sané is a quality player, very good player.
Yes.
Yeah. And bringing him into the kind of electrifying team that they already have going forward is something else. I think Sané is going to be competing with Kingsley Coman. And the fact that he's German means he already has an advantage. Okay, so yeah, right, that's the truth. That's the truth. He's most likely going to be starting ahead of Kingsley Coman. Yeah, so for me, I think that's an excellent move. The next thing I want to know is who replaces Robert Lewandowski.
I'm still on you, Precious. What would Sané move into?
Seems like your network is struggling, boss.
What do you suspect that is?
It's not just a rumble. It's not just a rumble. I think there should be issues going on in the boardroom at Old Trafford now. Now, the reason is because there is a certain Jadon Sancho who United fans were excited when Chelsea announced the signing of Timo Werner, right? A lot of United fans felt, okay, Chelsea has gotten a forward, and so they'll probably drop out of the race. They have Werner and they have Hakim Ziyech. So it means United was supposedly going to have a free run at it. And then all of a sudden, from nowhere, it is confirmed now that Leroy Sané is leaving. It means City need to sign. They would want to. I know Pep Guardiola is not the kind of person to, he doesn't work with an exceptionally large squad. But Pep is the kind of person who likes, if I'm taking out an Ashley Cole, for example, okay, I want to use Chelsea of 0405, then I'm bringing in a Wembridge, okay, a player who may not be of similar, completely equal quality, but then who is also adept at his trade, okay? Yeah, so now he's letting go of Leroy Sané. Who's the next big thing in the market? It has to be Jadon Sancho.
Is it Sancho?
Yeah, about 33 goal contributions this season.
And
that's enough.
He's a massive player.
He's one of them.
He has the buyback option.
Yeah, so I think United, this is not good news for United in any way, really. I'm worried for United. I think the only way that this transfer sways in favor of United is if the European ban for City is upheld. That, for me, is the only way this guy goes to United. Because you can't beat City for ages.
At that point, too, Man United needs to also qualify for the Champions League.
If City will be banned, it means if United finish in 5th place, they'll qualify automatically.
This is sounding like Nigeria now. What if United, as they are, don't qualify for 5th place? The City is banned and United end up like in 7th or 8th.
Well, you know what? Yeah, that's a very big possibility. However, I think the events of this weekend kind of favored United a bit. It goes back to that disallowed goal, the goal that Sheffield United scored that was not allowed. People, maybe at the end of the season, that may be the goal that they will look back to and say, this goal, this error cost us qualification for Europe, because they lost their match this weekend now. Yeah. So that goal, I think, has worked somewhat in the favor of Manchester United. Really.
Well, when you say that, consider the fact that Nuno Espirito de Santo at Wolves is working spiritual magic there. So Man United might lose out of the Champions League to Wolves.
I think United having Bruno Fernandes and Paul Pogba in the same team is obviously that is the team. I don't know if you played PS1 back in the days. I don't know. Maybe Bamiji played PS1. Imagine your Master League back then. You have Ronaldo and you have Roberto Carlos. Okay. Yeah. So then you have Shevchenko as well in the same team. You know, that kind of So having Pogba and Bruno Fernandes is a baller. Having those two guys together would work wonders for United, really. I think my only... Okay.
No, go on.
Okay, I think my only challenge for now with United, which is one thing which for me still casts a shadow of doubt over their possible fluidity, is the fact that I don't know why Ole is somewhat fixated with the idea of Anthony Martial as a center forward. I have said this. I said this in earlier editions of the Sport Lounge before Odion Ighalo came to United, and I said Odion Ighalo as a centre forward is way better than Anthony Martial. Okay. Anthony Martial has not done anything to prove me wrong.
For Manchester United fans, from Precious analysis now, it means you might be missing out on Jadon Sancho. But one thing you should be happy about is the return of Paul Pogba. Edafe, we're already in the Premier League review now. I'm going to come at you with impact in the game against Tottenham. United looked lackluster, but the minute he came in, they looked like a team. What do you think about his cameo appearance in that game?
You know, we've had private conversation. Me and you, we've had so much talk about
Pogba. We have.
Fan of Pogba. And I think that everybody who says Pogba is not good enough, he's not living up to his hype, they are all jealous and talking rubbish. Man United is a team struggling. Pogba is not going to overnight work up his magic. But in games that is played, the fact is a lot of people refuse. I mean, I've seen analysts, top class, world class footballers, turn analysts or coaches who will open their mouths on Sky Sports, on BeIN TV, BT Sports, and the rest, BBC, and blame Pogba for games that he didn't even play. For games that Man United lost, but Pogba is not even in Europe, in America, but the whole analysis centered around him. So in that regard, you already know that there is an agenda against him. Like, okay, let's pick on the big money man in this team and use his fan base to create clicks, because that's what people do. I'm in the online business, but I don't think I want to do that to sell my brand. This is what I've got to say. Pogba was fantastic at Juventus. Came to Manchester United when he played the first season. The season they won the Europa was also very fantastic. Then after that, things went sour. Jose Mourinho made the obvious mistake, which anybody can make anyway, of bringing in Sanchez and then paying him above the rest. More like, we won you the Europa and the Cup, and then the thank you give us is to bring a guy from Arsenal who won nothing and put him ahead of all of us. Okay, let him do the job. And then he ended up walking dogs and playing piano all through before he went to Inter Milan. So that has been like a problem that affected everybody in the team. Now the team is back again. Rashford for Prime Minister is feeding millions of kids. Anthony Martial is coming in. I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is making the mistake of he wants to build his score around those players and sometimes sacrificing results in that process. He wants to please Rashford, Anthony Martial, those young players that he seems to see have that aura over. He doesn't want to give people like the Pogba the opportunity to play regularly and become dominant figures. But he forgot that the team he played for, there was a certain Eric Cantona and a certain Roy Keane who were power blocks, who could look at Sir Alex Ferguson in the dressing room and challenge his authority, but they will still go and win matches for him. So as a coach, I think that I'm going to play the players that win matches for me and deliver. Yes, some people will argue that, but Pogba has not been winning matches for people. If you play football, if you have a simple, small inkling about football, is the first thing you need is in football, apart from your skills and talent and fitness, is confidence. And confidence comes when you have consistent number of games in consistent sequence. But Manchester United knows that Pogba has not had regular games over a long period of time. So it's come back from injury after the COVID-19. I think the best way to shut everybody up and to show the player that I've got your back is to put him from the start and say, you know what, I'm unleashing two dragons on Tottenham Hotspur. I don't care what they think. And destroy them. But then he gave Tottenham Hotspur the chance to dominate that midfield. The Manchester United players in the midfield were playing social distancing. Maguire was doing social distancing when they considered that goal. And then by the time they brought him in, you saw that, chest control and pass to Rashford. It tells you that, come, I'm the boss here. You need a guy who have a wow factor in a football team. And Paul Pogba is that guy. That's what Arsenal does not have. The biggest player in Arsenal, nobody fears him. He doesn't even have color. He's colorless. He's classless. The only thing good about Aubameyang is his cars and all that. Yes, he can score goal, but nobody is afraid of him. If you put Pogba in the midfield, the people around him are afraid of him. They are scared because he's unplayable. Now, I hate to use it.
He's unpredictable as well.
I don't care. I will still play him. Because he's unpredictable, that's the more reason why I'll play him. I'd rather play him and take him out rather than not play. Who would you rather play, Ozil or Pogba? I'll play Pogba. You know why? Pogba would track back, would take the ball, hold up play, build up, set up the position, and he will arrive at the 18-yard box and try to create something. Play free kick, play corner kick, give passes, try to score goals. Ozil will not do that. So for me, I don't know. I'm not Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, but I think it was a mistake not starting him. I would start him in the next game, and for every game that is fit, I'll start him because that gives Bruno Fernandes a lot of liberty to go forward and play the 1-2 with whoever is playing up front, because there's a Pogba in the midfield and one other player in the midfield helping him to do the shielding of the centre back. I'll play him every game.
That's brilliant, Edafe. But sticking on United pressures, David De Gea, he looks suspect for that goal actually, and with the rave that Dean Henderson is getting in Sheffield United at the moment, I mean, he has 11 clean sheets. That's the most in the league. No keeper has more than him. what do you think is going to be that situation? Because Dean Henderson should back in Manchester United by July. What do you make out of that situation?
Well, I think Manchester United have a similar situation with what Chelsea handled when they had Petr Cech and a returning Thibaut Courtois. Okay, does Ole have the kind of guts to do what Jose Mourinho did? From the first game against Burnley, Jose Mourinho sent Petr Cech to the bench and started Thibaut Courtois. That was a statement, okay? And then that cemented it. Everybody knew Courtois was going to be Chelsea's number one this season. And Petr Cech would have to settle for a beat part role, okay? David De Gea is a big player for Man U. The guy who has been United's best player for
4 years in a row.
Yeah. So dropping him means a whole lot. However, I think if does not give Dean Henderson assurances, they run the risk of losing him to another club. Because at his prime, at his age now, he would want assurances of regular playing time. And I think he's a top 6 guy. That kind of guy that guy walks into Chelsea, he will probably send Kepa to the bench. Okay? Yeah. So yeah, that's the truth. That's the truth. He has everything a top class keeper should do. However, I think the only thing here, the only caution here is that has he performed at that top level over and over? This season, what if this season is a flash in the pan? Okay? Thibaut Courtois had done it over and over for Atletico Madrid. Like, he was already attending. Atletico Madrid forgotten about David De Gea because of Thibaut Courtois. So he was already a big goalkeeper before coming. He had won the Spanish League Golden Glove before coming back to Chelsea. So he had something to show. Dean Henderson, for me, is a fantastic shot stopper. Very good area presence. But he has not done it, as far as I'm concerned, over and over to convince me that he should send David De Gea away from Manchester United.
That's another. Okay,
for me, I will not, because of this season, drop David De Gea for Dean Henderson. I think I'll continue from where Precious stopped. You need to be able to prove this on different level. Manchester United, on its own, have not had a consistent season at a very, level play. They've had some high tide, low tide, middle tide, and all that. Sheffield, on the other hand, are playing in just one competition, the Premier League alone, and they play in a certain style that favors everybody, and it's going well. So it's making the Henderson look like he's the new Peter Schmeichel and the rest of them. But when you have to add all this, play a game every 3 days, play in the Champions League, play in the Europa, and then you play in the league, might be a different call for him. Some big games pressure also might come in, and then having to try to please 76,000 plus people every other week, it's not as easy as in Sheffield already. If the season ends the way they are today, they are all gods. They are all going to be walking on the streets of gold. If Manchester United ends the season today like this, where they are on the log, they are all failures. So let's put that on the scale of, in terms of pressure that players face doing their job. I don't think Manchester United should just be in a hurry. If a player has been your best player for the past 4 seasons, and this season is having a bad time, stick with him and just say it like, okay, this is one bad season. You've been fantastic in the last couple of seasons. Let's try another season. If next season is still dwindling, you cannot decide to do away with him. If you put Dean Henderson right now, the next season does not have 5 years to give you. You start looking for another goalkeeper again. So it's a gamble that is not going to pay off.
Well, that's a lot to take in for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I suspect an ink headache for him. But one man who currently has he survived coronavirus, but I mean his club wants to kill him now. His name is Mikel Arteta. So let's look at Arsenal's 2 games coming back. It was a woeful performance in the game against City that even Pep Guardiola used Gundogan as a central defensive midfielder. Gundogan doesn't play CDM at all, but I mean Pep Guardiola said it's Arsenal. I don't mind. I'm going to play him there. And also the game against Brighton, there was no bite. Even Aubameyang, who used to be the one that makes things happen. He seemed quiet in those games. Was the Edafe? The break was not good for us now.
First, I've been saying this thing for quite a while, and people be like, "Oh, what are you saying? You're hating on the club. You're an Arsenal fan, but you're a shameful Arsenal fan. You don't like the club and all that." But let me point a few things out to some people who always think that it's because I don't like the club. There are 20 clubs in the Premier League, and I'm going to call some names. And please tell me any club that these players would be a super starter for. Bukayo Saka. No, don't laugh. Just name. If there is none, say none. We don't have time.
Top club.
Yes, in the Premier League.
Okay.
Said Kolasinac.
Neil.
Rob Holding. Shkodran Mustafi. The current Hector Bellerin.
I like the use of the current.
Yeah. Danny Ceballos. Nicolas Yaya Sanogo Pepe. Then on the bench, Edward Nketiah, Kieran Tierney, Reiss Nelson, Joseph Willock. Now, having said all that, that's the team that Arsenal have got right now playing for them. These players that I mentioned, apart from Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, Bernelon, Nelu, I don't call him, and that guy who has not scored any goal away from home since 2018. Lacazette. Apart from those three, the rest of the team plus the bench cannot walk straight into any team in the top 10 in the Premier League. Most of them cannot even make any team in the bottom 10 in the Premier League. All of those players that I mentioned would not walk into any team in the top 15 in La Liga, in the top 15 in Serie A. And somebody somewhere believed that Arsenal should be competing for the top 4. Let's be very honest. Is it that when I hear people say that Arsenal should compete for the top 4, I say once again, this enforces my position that the Premier League is not good enough, because if you think that this Arsenal team have legitimate right to compete for the top 4 in the Premier League, it means the Premier League is not good. It's an insult to the Premier League to think that the team this horrible. Chelsea, for instance, have spent 80 million to buy 2 very good players. No, less than 80 million to buy 2 very good players. Hakim Ziyech and Timo Werner.
78 million.
The 2 of them 78 million. The Pepe and David Lewis, 80 million. So you see the problem here. Arsenal at the Emirates is different from the Arsenal of Highbury. The Arsenal of Highbury buy good players, play good football, compete for titles, play very well. The Arsenal that moved to the Emirates and became a club that is owned by a guy who already owned 6 franchises of different clubs, from ice hockey to NFL to basketball, is a club that represents, in African term, pikin where woman take old hand come marriage. The stepfather not get the time. An American would always invest more in NFL, ice hockey, baseball, all of his sport before not getting left over for football. You see, Roman Abramovich have not been to England for almost 2 years. But you see the way he does his business. They had a ban last time out. This season have not ended, but Chelsea are done doing business. They are preparing for next season. Arsenal is still struggling whether to renew or not to renew the contract of the players that they have. They've not even started negotiating. Yeah, they've not even started negotiating for the new ones that are going to come in. They are most likely, people like Bukayo Saka is even negotiating with Arsenal, telling them that he's considering their offer. That's how low Arsenal have come to. But Arsenal fans will not come to that reality, and they'll be bugaing, they'll be carrying shoulder. I think Arsenal fans are very, very arrogant. And I think the Brighton and Hove players, one of them said that Arsenal players act in an entitled...
They talk too much.
Yeah, they talk too much. They act like they're entitled to victories. And that's the problem. Another problem with Arsenal, look at Arsenal very well. There is no real homegrown player who understands what it means to be a North London boy, who understands what it means to be an Arsenal player. Look at Chelsea when they were winning. There's a John Terry who is true and true. He understands the culture. Look at when Manchester United was winning too. They had their core Manchester boys who knew that our life depends on this.
Yeah.
Who will come and play against City and lose and say it doesn't matter. That's what Arsenal is today. Until all that is fixed. Arsenal, say, if that's not taken, Arsenal will go really.
No,
I'm not angry. I'm not angry. I'm angry with the people who keep believing that Arsenal should be playing in the Champions League, should be competing for title. When it is ostensibly clear that this team cannot even win the Nigerian League.
That's low. That's below the belt, man.
If we allow Edafe go, he's going to abuse everybody.
Brighton and Hove will not do job over Iba. Do you know what it means for Brighton and Hove to do easy job over Arsenal? No, nah.
Well, Edafe, Pressure, let me come to you because time has been fast.
I have only 1 minute 30 seconds.
Yeah, just quickly, your thought. Pogba was not the only one to make an impact of the bench this past weekend. Christian Pulisic. So, how did you see his performance? Quickly.
Excellent. Chelsea needed in their game against Aston Villa was someone who could play in the tight spaces. Villa were defending in a very, very low block. And then Lampard introduced him. Pulisic is the kind of guy who knows to play in tight spaces. Similar skill set with Eden Hazard, though not got the kind of low center of gravity Hazard has and body balance, but then similar skill set. And he did the job excellently well. That's what makes a team. The first 11 isn't doing well. You can call on the guys on the bench. Pulisic in the post-match interview said Lampard didn't give him any tactical instruction. Just told him, go and help us win the game. And he did his job. And
Liverpool did not win their match against Everton. Ended 0-0. So the title race will still push forward.
You know, I actually hope for that. I want them to actually play Manchester City. Anyways, guys, we've come to the end of today's show. Thank you so very much, Edafe. It was really entertaining listening to your anger for your boyhood club. Thank you so much.
My FA Cup club. My club.
We have seen it.
I said my FA Cup medal.
It's 1970. It's 1970.
Since when?
This is my FA Cup medal. I don't care. But the most winner of the FA Cup, have you forgotten that? The most. Bye-bye.
Whether you're the host or not, please subscribe, like, comment. Join the topics. Basically, it's on Bayern Munich, it's on Manchester United, Paul Pogba. Thank you very much. Week again. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.